This is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. Today I have a very special treat for you, and I'm really excited because I'm going to get to see my good friend, Kailash. So Kailash is in town, and we have it arranged that we're going to go out and meet for lunch. But in order to meet for lunch, we need to prepare. We need to get lunch. So what is lunch? Well, lunch is the best thing I could possibly feed Kailash because I only want to feed my friends the best food possible. And the best food possible is all the food that I'm growing here in my garden. I have radish flowers, bok choy flowering, lettuce, so many things growing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pick some greens from my garden, go inside the kitchen, make some dressings, and then we're gonna go to a park and spread out and eat an awesome raw foods lunch. So like myself, Kailash is also a raw foods educator. He teaches at the Ann Wigmore Institute in Puerto Rico. So he's currently in town for a short time and for a quick visit with me. So we're going to share what I made for lunch today with you guys, also share my dressings, and at the end of the raw foods picnic that we're going to have, Kailash and I will each share with you one important tip that will allow you to eat raw foods successfully and the most healthful way possible. So next, let's go eat some lunch. So we're here in the park with my good friend Kailash. We've both been living on a living in raw foods diet for many years now. And we're gonna share with you what we're eating today for lunch. And then also at the end of the video, we're each gonna share our one favorite tip that can help you guys the most be successful at raw foods. So I picked my lunch earlier today. These are all greens. These two bags contain greens from my garden. These bags conveniently say go raw, because you wanna go raw. See, also inside I have a sheet, so we're gonna spread this out over the table. All right, so once you got the tablecloth set up, you gotta get out all the good stuff. So we got two dressings I made here. This white dressing is basically just sweet limes juiced up. Now sweet limes are a very low acid citrus. They have a really nice unique flavor. You can purchase those at like Asian markets or ethnic markets, Mexican markets sometimes. They are hard to find. I love them a lot. I've been using them a lot because they don't have the acidity of most citrus. So once again, sweet lime juice, fresh squeezed with some macadamia nuts blended up in there, and then also a little bit of kimchi blended up. So that's gonna be really good. One dressing there. Second dressing here is a coconut-based dressing. So this is using coconut cream that I made in my own juicer, some coconut water, some dehydrated coconut meat at low temperature, and then just some beet sauerkraut. So those are our two dressings there. So that's really easy. The next thing is we're just gonna go ahead and dump out on our clean sheet all our vegetables. All right, so we have a whole bunch of leafy greens here. We have a whole head. Oh, and there's a ladybug I saw. Release that into nature. This is all organic, picked fresh from my garden, and that's the best way to eat raw foods is you want to grow it yourself. So fresh red romaine there. We got some escarole and endive. We got some frisee, nice little head of frisee. We got some spinach here, all kinds of different greens. These ones are called red sorrel or red variegated sorrel. These ones are actually really pretty. Got a lot of chickweed, so we harvest a lot of chickweed. Now it's very important, the other thing that you'll learn from this video is you want to eat a variety of foods. Don't just go down to the store and get romaine lettuce today, romaine lettuce tomorrow, the romaine lettuce the following day for dinner. You know, buy something different, buy something unique, and if you grow it yourself, grow a lot of different things. Here's some more miner's lettuce here, red variegated sorrel. Here's some collard greens. Once again, the spinach. Let's see, here's some cilantro and parsley that I picked this morning. Let's see what else we got. Oh, this stuff is so good. This stuff is miner's lettuce, so most people never see this. These are like miner's lettuce sprouts. These are absolutely delicious and nutritious. They do have a small amount of oxalic acid in there. Let's see. Right in here we have some flowers. So these are basically flowering tops from bok choy, I believe. So definitely really good to eat your flowers. Flowers have the pollen and also the antioxidants because of the colors in the flowers. So we want to eat our colors. Let's see, here's some beet greens. Beet greens are absolutely delicious. These are some beet greens. And then if you look really close down in here, I also picked a whole bunch of violas. So violas are some beautiful flowers that are also edible that I encourage you to eat. In addition to that, we probably have a couple more things hiding in here, but the other thing is really easy that we could find are these guys. This is called New Zealand spinach, so another green that you can't normally find actually at stores or in stores, and some of these actually you can't ever find them if you try to buy them. If you go to your local grocer, say, I want some New Zealand spinach, they'll say, what? They won't know what you're talking about. So you really got to grow some of these things if you want to get the nutrition out of these foods. You got to grow them yourself. So next we're going to go ahead and open up this other bag here and check out what kind of cool edible leafy greens I got inside. Let's go ahead and dump these out. And here's all these amazing tree collards. So these are tree collards, and these are off my tree collard plants. Now these tree collard plants, they grow really tall. I don't know if they're as tall as that tree behind me there. But you know, my tree collards are about 15 feet tall. Every day of the year, they just continually put out new greens that you could just pick and eat. So they're literally like trees with all these leaves you just pick and eat, and I can't even eat them all. So tree collards are definitely one of the things you should be planting if you're into raw foods, because you'll have food literally for life. It's amazing. In any case, these guys are really delicious, sweet, and good. These are the purple variety of the tree collards. So the plan is, once we got all these greens, we're gonna each come up here and we're gonna select whatever we wanna eat. Oh, and here's another really cool one. This one's actually called bronze fennel. So once again, you know, I like to eat all different kinds of foods because every different kind of food on the table here has a whole different nutrient profile and will give us and provide us different nutrients so that we can be as healthy as we can. So if you constantly eat the same thing every night for dinner, like you always have romaine lettuce, you're missing out on a lot of nutrients and you're missing out on the spice of life, which is variety. Any case, how this is gonna work here, we have the two dressings and it's just real simple, real easy. We're gonna go ahead and uncork them or unscrew the tops here. And what we're gonna simply do is you're gonna grab the leaf of your choice. Let's see, I wanna try a tree collard first, and I usually like to roll these up so it works really easy. We're just gonna dip it in the dressing. Once again, this is the macadamia nut sweet lime dressing. Get a little bit on there. And remember, no double dipping. So now we're gonna go for the coconut-based dressing. Once again, we're gonna uncork it and pick any leafy green you want. Let's go ahead and go for a New Zealand spinach leaf. Take it up, dip a little bit in, get it on there. So good. So I encourage you, you know, when you're into raw foods, eat real simple like this. You're gonna feel a lot better. So the next part of this video is I'm gonna ask my good friend Kailash, who currently works at the Ann Wigmore Institute out in Puerto Rico, who has a lot of experience with living in raw foods. We're gonna ask him the question. And the question is simply this, Kailash. What one tip do you want to give my viewers so that they will be the most and have the most success at raw foods?
So here's my tip. Get more juice into your life. More juice. So what do I mean by that? Here we have juices. It's made from liquids. We have vegetables. They're fresh. They have lots of juices. We all know our bodies are mostly water and we need to have the juices. And often we don't think of the foods that they contain juices, but the greens, they contain juices. I also encourage people to eat cucumbers, to eat celery, to eat tomatoes, things, you know, as long as you can digest them well, that are juicy. Vegetables, pick some vegetables that you really like, that you really care for, that are juicy. And if you eat vegetables, or even if you put nuts and other things together and they're not juicy by themselves, then create a dressing, make something with them, add some juice to them to bring more liquids into your system. You will notice your whole system, everything functions better. So salads, put a lot of salad dressing instead of just having few greens. Make good dressings using whole foods like coconut and the things that John described, using whole foods as opposed to bottled things, boxed things, canned things, you know, the 3 killer bees, boxed, bottled, or bagged. Use things that are whole in their whole state. So number one, you know, for your lunch, for your dinner, eat salads with nice dressings. Find a way to create dressings that you really enjoy, that you're passionate about. Number two, we all, I believe, benefit from eating fruits. There are some exceptions, but generally speaking. And fruits are juicy, so eat the fruits that are the juiciest. Find the fruits that you like that are juicy. And of course, we have our favorites, and sometimes we kind of get stuck at eating the same fruits all the time. So find some fruits that you really like, and then blend them up with fruits that you may not like as much, but you may still have that flavor of the fruit that you really enjoy eating. So if you're an apple type of person, you tend to eat just apples, blend the apples and put some pears in there, or put some blueberries in there, put some banana, blend them up with different fruits. You get more variety, and you still have the flavor of the fruit that you like. And you may tweak it after a while. You may find out that you really like the flavor of pears, and at some point your smoothie might be pear based. And of course, most of us know how important it is to give our digestive system any advantage possible. So instead of just putting nuts into the salad, soak them, blend them up, make them easier to digest. Your system absorbs nutrients on the level of the surface. The more you break the nuts and the foods, the more surface area you have, and the more nutrients you actually get from those foods. And eat some mono meals, like find a fruit you really enjoy eating, melons or strawberries are coming in season now, and just make one meal of that food and see how enjoyable it can be and how satisfying to just pick one juicy, could even be a vegetable, could just be, after a night of not eating, and when you get really hungry the next day, some cucumbers, like those lemon cucumbers, just making a meal of cucumbers, or making a meal of a type of fruit that you really enjoy eating. So that's my message for today. Bring more juice into your life through the foods that you eat, because you'll feel juicy, you feel just life, the quality of your life can increase. And your message to the other people, spread the word. Once you feel juicier, they'll feel it. Thank you, John, for having me.
Wow, Kailash, thank you so much. That was well said. I completely agree with Kailash. So the tip that I'm going to give you today is simply this. It's be consistent. So what do I mean by that, be consistent? I mean, in life and in general, we just always need to be consistent. If you're driving a car, for example, or driving a bicycle, you've driven it before, you know how to drive it exactly right. But if you're not paying attention, you might crash. So same thing in life and with our diet and with health in general. We need to pay attention on what we're doing, and once we know what we're doing and how to do it, we know how to eat a nice salad with dressings. We just need to do it and be consistent. If starting off with a big salad like this is too much for you, start off with a small salad. But do it every single day and reduce the size of maybe the stuff that you eat that maybe isn't so good, and increase the size of the good stuff that you know is good for you. And just do it continually and every day, and slowly increase and then slowly decrease the bad stuff. So slowly increase the good stuff and slowly decrease the bad stuff, step by step. One of the sayings I like to say a lot is, by the inch, it's a cinch. By the yard, it's hard. So if I tried to jump 10 feet away from me, I'm not going to be able to jump in one hop unless I really have a good running start. 10 feet in one swoop, but I can take 10 one-foot steps to make that 10 feet. So you want to do things at a slow and moderate pace so that you can build on your successes and feel good about that. Not just be like, I'm going to be 100% raw. You do it for 2 days. Then you say, oh, I can't do that. I'm never going to try that again. Be consistent. Eat one extra piece of fruit a day, and you're a success. So set yourself up for success one step at a time. So hopefully this episode has shared some tricks and tips, and you see how to eat a real delicious raw food lunch in the park. Once again, this is John Kohler with OKRaw.com. We'll see you next time, and keep eating your fresh fruits and vegetables.